Hello, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Let me cut this other light on. Welcome, Sister Mercy. Thank you for coming. Thank you. I'll be right back. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Ezekiel, and I'm going to be talking about a sign from God, yet another sign from God that this time involves the wrestler Hulk Hogan. And at first, I was not certain. I couldn't find that much on him. But then something happened, okay? And I'll let you know shortly. Um, so welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you. So all this ties in to what I've been telling people. If you've watched or if you've never watched, I'm showing people about signs from God, and particularly end time signs of the end of the world as we know it, and particularly on America. And many of the things that I've been saying have been coming true. And so the important thing to remember is as we go into this. So Hulk Hogan he's the wrestler, world famous wrestler, and he got exposed. He got for saying bad things, okay, saying the N word, and saying and that he letting it be known that he cannot stand Black Americans, okay, and his own daughter exposed him, okay. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the like. And so it got out into the media and into the and so people knew about it. Okay. Thank you. And so he's the world famous wrestler, okay? And for people who may not know his name, most people I know a lot of people will know his name. I'll find a picture. His real name, Hulk Hogan's real name is Terry Gene Bollea. Okay. Um Thank you for coming. Thank you for the likes. And so let me find a picture here. Okay, here we go. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Sister Mercy. It's a blessing to have you here. Okay, let me look this up. Picture of Hulk Hogan. Okay. So yeah, for people who may not know, I'll show you a picture if this will pull up. Yeah, so yeah, right here, if it'll pull up here. Welcome, welcome. And so I don't know if you've seen him before, Sister Mercy. I don't know if you know him. He's a wrestler. If you've seen him and not Hulk Hogan, okay? Famous wrestler, probably the most famous wrestler in the world. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. That's what I'm talking about. So he got exposed for saying bad things about Black Americans. To the point of Hulk Hogan is spelled. Let me show you. Many people say he's the most famous famous wrestler that in the world. He was. let me write this down so you can see. Hulk Hogan. Can you see here? Hulk Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that's his name. All right. One of the most loved. In fact, I was one of his fans. But okay. Have you ever seen him before, Sister Mercy? Let me know if you've seen him before. So, what this ties into, okay, what this ties into is the fact of what I've been saying, that these signs from God are happening around the Bible prophecy of Genesis chapter 15. Okay, yeah, okay. You may not see him there, but yeah, he's like all over the world. He was loved, one of the most loved wrestlers ever and famous. He was famous for his charisma and his muscles, and being a tough guy. But and so yeah. Um, and like I said, I was a fan of his too. So Hulk Hogan, and like I said, this has to do with the Bible prophecy I've been telling you about, the 400-year prophecy that the Bible said in Genesis chapter 15, verses 12 and 13, and also Deuteronomy chapter 28, um, verse 68. Well, verses 64 through 68. And the Genesis chapter 15 speaks of a time when God's children or the Israelites would be be in a place where they're enslaved and oppressed for 400 years. And that happened in America, okay? Because in 2019, the American government officially recognized Black Americans being in this country for 400 years, okay? And so what's important about that? Well, if if we were just anybody or whatever, it wouldn't matter. But once you know that Black Americans, that we're the children of God from the Bible, and the people related to us, the race known as Negroes, you'll understand how we fit into Bible prophecy, and that all these signs. Thank you for the love. Thank you. And that all these signs, like the I've talked about the excuse me for 1 second. I'm so sorry. 1 second. I'll be right back, okay? Please don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Thank you for waiting and thank you for understanding. So this is what I'm saying is very serious, okay? So so I mentioned the eclipses when the sun made an X over America like that, okay? And I mentioned the blood moons because in Joel chapter 2 of the Bible, it's in the Old Testament, it says that before the day of the Lord, when some of the things it mentioned is that there'll be signs in the heavens, and that blood and fire, and it also mentions that the sun would grow dark and the moon would turn to blood, before the great day of the Almighty God or Yahweh. Okay. So welcome, welcome. Thank you for the likes. So all that ties into what I'm saying. And then with Hulk Hogan, with him being exposed in different times for how he really dislikes black people, that hurt a lot of people. And even a lot of Caucasian people or white people, they didn't like that. A lot of people turned on him for that. And Hulk Hogan got booed. Like the last time that I saw him, he was went into an arena and he was doing an advertisement for his beer, I think, and the crowd was booing him. Okay, they booed him out of the arena, so he lost a lot of. He was, and then not only that, he got caught saying something bad again about black people. Okay, I think that one time he found out that his daughter was dating a black man, and it upset him very, very badly. But the point is that it's I'd like to know, because I've never heard him say anything that black Americans have ever done to him or any black person, period, no matter where they're from. And a lot of people who, so I know certain words you're not supposed to say on YouTube, so it makes it kind of difficult sometimes. But a lot of people who cannot stand or strongly dislike black Americans have never done anything to them. Now, there's good and bad race in all races. We know that. Okay, we know there's good and bad. We know that there's good and bad. There's black Americans who may not be good people or who may be bad. There's all in all races, whether you're white, black, Asian, Pacific Islander, Native American, whatever it is. So, but it's indicative of the oppression and the ways that black Americans have been treated, and the way that we still are getting, our people are being unalived in this country by policemen, many times unjustly. Okay. Welcome. Oh yeah. Thank you for coming. Yes, that's right. That's welcome, Hicken B. You're very right. Chud the Builder. If you don't know, Sister Mercy, or for anybody watching who doesn't know, he's a white man, and what he was doing is he was going around making videos. Okay, he would go up to black people and call them the N-word and say all kinds of disgusting things and provoke them, right? And then after he provoked them, he would pull a gun out on them many times. But he went around and he started a lot of problems with black people like that. And the last one, well, the one before last, the brother slapped him. He smacked him one. And the guy named Chud the Builder, he looked kind of scared. He's a muscular guy, kind of strong built guy. But nevertheless, the police would come and everything. And I had said, there's other people who was talking, but I had said a couple of days, like at a certain time, I said, God is going to take care of Chud the Builder. I said, he's doing too much and he's about to get himself into trouble. I said, all we got to do, watch and see what I tell you. Okay, that was my thing. And you know what? 2 or 3 days later, Chud the Builder, he started a problem with somebody. Then he shot the person. And then actually he accidentally shot himself as well. So he shot the person and shot himself. So he's in jail. And guess what? He got charged with, I think, attempted murder. And his bail was set at a very high amount. Like, something, was it like $2.5 million, $3 million, something like that. It's so he got in trouble, and the other person, I hope they're okay. But you see, you never know how God works. But the thing is, what I'm saying, Chud the Builder is another one. What black people ever done to him? Okay. And so what set him off? Chud the Builder, he got exposed in the video, because before he was going around talking about black people, talking bad about black women, and all this kind of stuff. Well, there's a video that surfaced where a black woman, Chud the Builder, who's a white man, she let it come out. They were talking and come to find out that they had slept together before, okay? They had, did man and woman things, but it was worse than that. Because at first she was friendly with him, okay? Okay, the black woman was friendly with Chud the Builder. Then what happened is his fans didn't like it. The people who liked Chud the Builder, because he's against black people and he speaks against black Americans, they didn't like it, and they talked bad about the woman. And Chud the Builder's mistake? He talked bad about her as well. And when he talked bad about her, evidently it upset her, hurt her feelings. And so she came out and exposed the truth about Chud the Builder. And you know what she told? And I said this thing to myself. I said, after this woman says this, Chud the Builder is not going to know how to handle it. He's going to do something because he's been exposed, and he's going to try to make himself look tough again. Now listen to what I tell you. Now, after Chud the Builder, after he had done all this talking about black people, trying to start fights with them, pulling guns on them, making videos and posting them like it's funny, after all this talk, degrading black people, it comes out that not only did him and the black woman sleep together, but that how can I say this in a nice way? But that Chud the Builder actually liked the black woman to do things to him. When I say things like what's the word I want to use? Like when men sleep with men, he liked her, and actually she came out and said that she's no longer a woman, that this black woman said she had surgery, now she's a man. So it was not him sleeping with like a man and a woman normally does. It was her doing things to him. Okay, it was her, and he got exposed, and then he flipped out. Okay, but anyway, I didn't mean to talk. But anyway, like I predicted, he unraveled because he had been exposed, and he didn't know how to handle it. So the next time, or this video, when he went out and messed with those black people, this time he shot somebody. He unraveled because he knew that he had been exposed. The woman said that he's gay, and he's the one he liked for. I hope you understand what I'm saying, okay? And so anyway, so Hulk Hogan. So all this ties in. Recently I talked about how in the heavens, how there's been signs. We've had the eclipses, and the moon turning to blood, and the sun getting dark with the total solar eclipses in the blood moons. We've had an increase in large fireballs in the skies, not just over America, but over the world. Huge fireballs that are exploding. Okay, and two volcanoes that have never erupted in human history have erupted. Never before in human history, no man has ever seen these volcanoes erupt for thousands of years. And then all of a sudden, a few days ago, they erupted. So those signs, the Bible speaks of columns of smoke. Is that volcanoes? It would be a sign of the end day. So we'll see. Everything we will not understand until some things we'll understand as time goes on. But what I want to show you is that why God is doing those signs, powerful signs, and there's been asteroids that are getting very close to the earth, and the asteroids are getting bigger. They're near Earth asteroids, and so they're coming between the moon and the earth, and they're getting very close. And you got people worried or wondering if one of those asteroids is going to hit the earth, a big one. Let's hope not. But anything can happen at any time, because like I said, we are in a time of deep Bible prophecy that is coming true, and that Black Americans are fulfilling. People don't know it because people have been lied to. They don't know that Black Americans are at the heart of this Bible prophecy. But you'll understand if you read Genesis chapter 15, verses 12 and 13, and read Deuteronomy, at least read Deuteronomy chapter 68, verses 24 through 28. Read that. So anyway, it's been a number of, if people ever see my live streams, I've done a number of live streams where I've showed also other signs from God, okay? I've showed where in people's lives, the date of people's lives, in the date of their deaths, God is putting codes into them. He's putting codes, warning people, warning signs about why his judgment is coming, and that and letting people know what it's about. Okay. And they all have the same pattern. They have the same pattern. So this has got to be something about this. Okay. And I told people during the total solar eclipse that hit the United States and made an X over America, it stands for God's judgment. It stands for, it's an omen for something bad that's going to happen. It means the end. And I told people things are not going to be the same again. And I told, and I said, this is bigger than most people even realize, that it's fulfilling Bible prophecy. And so it's been talked about why it happened. It happened because Black people let me show you for people who don't know, because this is one step at a time, okay? Because I don't know who knows this when they come to the channel. So I tell a little background, so if anybody comes in, they won't be lost, okay? So I'm going to tell a little background to show that Black Americans are the children of God from the Bible, that we're the true children of Israel. And then I'm going to show you these signs. I was quite surprised when I found this about Hulk Hogan, okay? I want to show you something that points back to this Bible prophecy that I keep telling people about. You'll see. You'll see. This book is called The Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa, written by Stephen Jacobs. I strongly recommend it. Okay, let me read the front. Stephen Jacobs, The Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa, fully documented. Jacobs, a European Jew and historian, confirms the presence of Black Hebrews, Israelites, Jews throughout the length and breadth of the motherland, Africa, centuries ago and now. A Black history book. This, I'm reading the back now. The Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa. The Hebrews, Israelites of biblical times. Who and where are their descendants today? Stephen S. Jacobs, a European Jew. Now, this is a European Jew, and European admitting this. And he wrote a book about this to let people know the truth. He said, he tells it like it was in this documentary, which proves conclusively that most people of African descent living in America and other parts of the Western Hemisphere as a result of the African slave trade are offspring of the ancient Israelites. We are the children of God from the Bible. Our bloodline is back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, and Jeremiah, and the mighty King David, and the wise King Solomon, and Hezekiah, and Jeremiah, and Ezekiel. Okay, the people who we love that we read about in the Bible. Moses, we're just from the same bloodline. Okay, you see, and so let me tell you this, show you this, and we'll go on. I just want people to understand who the Israelites are, not just in America, but in hundreds of millions of Israelites are in sub-Saharan Africa alone, place known as Negroes, and the places where our people were sent into slavery in the Western Hemisphere, whether it be the United States, South America, Central America, North America, whether it be the Caribbean islands, the islands off the coast of Africa, the UK, Europe, Asia, anywhere, the race known as Negroes, we are the children of God from the Bible. Our history's been hidden. Let me show you this, and then we'll continue on with these signs from God, okay? So it says, Stephen S. Jacobs, a European Jew, has beyond the shadow of a doubt fully documented in this book the Hebrew heritage of Black Africa, that the Hebrews, Israelites, Jews of biblical times were of the Black race and lived on the African and Asian Middle East region, continents of the world. Okay, this book is a must read for people of all races and belief systems, for it satisfies the need to dispel the lies which have enveloped the minds of the masses into believing that white European Jews are the original people of the book and the chosen people of God expressed throughout the Bible. Okay, listen to this again. This book is a must read for all races and belief systems, for it satisfies the need to dispel the lies which have enveloped the minds of the masses into believing that the white European Jews are the original people of the book. It's chosen people of God expressed throughout the Bible. More and more white Jews, especially the older ones, are acknowledging in secret to those of us who already know that the original Jews were Black. Okay, scores of authors, Black and white, have now written extensively over the last 50 or more years on the subject of Black Hebrew Israelites, not only on the continents of Africa and Asia, but other continents as well. Okay, so now, some of these Hebraic people most of these Hebraic people are descendants of the originals. Okay? We're Hebraic people, and thousands more have returned to the worship of Almighty God of their forefathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, after having been forced in times past to embrace other religions through foreign colonization. Okay, realize I'm there in that book, but realize, thank you so much. Thank you for the love. Realize that before, our people had no religion. Understand this, that who we are was just a relationship with God, and he gave us laws and commandments to follow. And so also God let it be known that other nations could follow him too and be blessed by him. All right. So now, Hulk Hogan. There was another asteroid that got real close. I had talked about 3 before. There was another one too that had gotten real close to Earth after that. No, it came into the Earth's atmosphere. That's what happened. They predicted that it was going to come, and it came. All right, so Hulk Hogan. All right, his real name is Terry Jean Balea. Okay. Oops, excuse me. His real name is Terry Jean Balea, and he is of Italian descent. And Hulk Hogan was born this is where the signs are going to be in the dates of Hulk Hogan's life, the time he was born, and also the date of his death. And there were some surprises that happened that I wasn't expecting. Because do you know that the first signs that I found were not actually on Hulk Hogan, they were on his parents. which I usually don't find like that. Okay. There were signs from God on Hulk Hogan's parents. Then I came back. I just saw something today, actually, this morning, that I saw that I never before saw before. Okay, so Hulk Hogan passed away on. He died on July the 24th of 2025. Okay, so okay, but anyway, yeah, let me just do it like that because I made it. So anyway, Hulk Hogan, he was born on 8/11/1953 and passed away on 7/24/2025. That okay, so I want you to see and these are the numbers that I'm mainly going to use. Also, Hulk Hogan was 71 years old when he passed away. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I've been telling people, okay, I said, for people who knows that I've been watching, I'm telling the truth. I've been telling people that one of the reasons for God's judgment is going to be because the time slavery began in the 400 years. Okay, 1619 was the slavery officially began in America of Black Americans. Why is that important? I'll show you. So let me write this down. I'll show you how to. Hulk Hogan, and he was born. Let's see. I put his date. So okay, but there's something that happens. I'm going to show you. It's going straight across here. That okay, 1 second, and then drop it. Okay, so let me show you. Yeah. So right here, Hulk Hogan. So that he was born on 8/11/1953. If you take the 8 from Hulk's, which is August, from Hulk's month of birth, and you take these ones, so drop the ones and add 1 plus 1, that equals 2. Okay, and then if you take the 8 and multiply it times 2, which is what it'll be then, 8 times 2, you get 16. Okay, and then if you look right here, straight across, right there is 19. Going straight across in Hulk Hogan, you'll find 8 times 2, 8 times 1 plus 1 is 16, and drop the 19 there. You find 1619. I told you, that's the year that slavery began. Okay. In these patterns, these signs from God are repeating themselves over and over again. Yes, but so what I did, I see what you did there. I'm going to show you. So 1953. So I'm going to save this 53, okay? I'm going to use it for the next sign. Because what happens, this 53 is going to carry over. You'll see. So what I did, at this time, because this is how the sign presented itself. So at this time, I did the 8, Sister Mercy, 8 times 2, which is 16, and then I dropped 59. Well, I saw that the 53 was left over. And then what happened, amazing, I'll show you. So this time I'll put them side by side. That's what I'll do. And then I'll show you what happened. It'll make sense to you after you see that. And he was born 8/11/1953. I hope that you're able to understand so far what I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so, and I just saw this part this not long ago, this morning, as I looked over this again. So Hulk Hogan, this is his date of birth and date of passing. So what I did was I took the 53 that was left over from Hulk Hogan's date of birth. Because remember, in the beginning, we used the 8 and the 11 and the 19. Well, there's a 53 left over. And all I did, I'm going to just go in, nothing special. Okay. I'm going to take this 53. This is how you know God's doing it. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to do anything special. So from this point on, I'm sorry, that might be, I hope you can read that. I'm going to take that 53 and drop it here. I'm going to add 5 plus 3 to the date that Hulk Hogan passed away, and I'm going to add 5 plus 3 plus 7, 24, 2025. Let me show you what happened. Okay, I'm going to add all those numbers together. So in other words, by the time that this is done, you will see that there's not going to be any number that's wasted. 7 plus. What did I just do here? 1 second. Yeah, that's right. So, okay, that's right. Okay. Sorry, sometimes these numbers get a little bit, sometimes I have to remember what I did. So this number here, if you add all those numbers together, okay, let me show you. You get 20. So 7, 8 plus 7, 15. Wait a minute. 8 plus 15, 17, 19. And you get 20. Okay, 19 plus 5, you get 24. All right. So you have when you add those numbers, I dropped down the 5 and the 3 and added those numbers all together. I didn't add the 24. I added the 7. I'm gonna save that for later. 2025. 5 plus 3 plus 7 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 24. Okay. And what have I been telling people? That the eclipse that happened on April 8, 2024 was a huge sign from God. Here we have a 24. All right. And also, it's telling, I just saw something too, but it's telling that in Hulk Hogan, his date that he passed, the day, was also on the 24. So I'll circle that too, you see? So you have 24 here, and Hulk Hogan from adding those numbers with the 53 there, because see, I told you it was going to be used. And then you have a 24 here because ironically, Hulk Hogan passed away on the 24th. So you have 2024, two 24s. Well, what happens when you add 24 plus 24? You get 48. Didn't I tell you that these signs are pointing to 48 of the date of the 2024 total solar eclipse? Right there again. 24 from adding these numbers, and then 24 there equals 48. 4, 8, 24. 4, 8, 24. I told you that it was a powerful end time sign from God. Is anybody able to see that? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay. Because for the 4, 8, let me write that down. That was the April 8th, 2024. Total solar eclipse. I got something. I have more. I just want to show you. That's not all. That's just the tip of the iceberg. So what I'm showing is that these signs, if anybody's watched before, these signs keep pointing back to the thank you. Good. So right there, you see, that was the date of the total solar eclipse, and it made an X over America, over little Egypt. And in Deuteronomy, in the Bible, in the Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, it said that the Israelites, that they would go into slavery into Egypt again in ships. Okay. Egypt stands for slavery. Okay. Egypt stands for bondage. That Bible predicted that we would go into slavery in ships. How? And guess what? Welcome, Sister Pascal. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. How are you doing? Thank you. I'm grateful for you to be here. You're very welcome. Thank you. And I believe okay, yeah, good. Let me give me 1 second and I'll give you moderators. So like I said, X over America was over a city or a place in Illinois called Little Egypt. That was fulfillment of Bible prophecy. And yet here again, God uses famous people. I started seeing that he uses famous people, and he uses their dates of birth and passing to show people. A lot of people don't know that these signs are there. They don't look because they don't know. They don't see them because they don't look, because they don't know that they're there. But it keeps pointing back, okay, to the same thing over and over. I'm glad to hear that you're good. I'm glad to hear that. 1 second. Let me give you a moderator. Okay, you should be good now. Should be moderator now, Sister Pascal. So hopefully you're following. Let me show you something else. So, but what I do want to say, it's important to understand the emphasis, why I keep telling people, and God is emphasizing. So understand this. 1619 here, I told you. And then the 2024, 8, 2024. Okay. So you're welcome. So what's happening is, understand that God is using these people, famous people, to show these signs. And not only that, that shows that God knew the beginning from the end. In other words, he planned Hulk Hogan's life to equal these exact numbers. Okay, because it can't. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you. You can't make this up. It can't happen by accident. that these same numbers that keep coming back as Bible prophecy are being found in these rich people's dates of passing and in their dates of birth, even their ages sometimes. Okay. So now, but what happened is more astounding, okay? Because if that were the only thing, then that would be different. But ironically, it was in Hulk Hogan's mother and father that I first saw these signs. Because that day, whatever, I didn't see it in Hulk Hogan at first till a couple of hours ago, okay, before this live stream. Thank you, thank you. And so now let me show you something. I can't for some reason I didn't write her name down, but that's okay. We could just put Hulk Hogan's mother, because everybody who's born has to have a mother and a father. Well, these days, naturally, everybody who's born naturally has to have a mother and a father. People are getting artificially impregnated these days. Now, thank you so much, Sister Mercy. Okay, so now, Hulk Hogan's mother. You can't make this up. This cannot be a coincidence. She was born on, now listen, on January the 16th, 1920. 1920. 1619. Again. You hear that? It's right there. You can't make it up. Hopefully, people are seeing, these warnings that I'm telling people. There's something that happened, and America now is in a time of judgment. Let me show you something. It's also very ironic. So let me show you this. That was very interesting. Hulk Hogan's mother was born on January the 16th of 1920, or 1/16. And she passed away on January the 1st of 2011. But guess what? You see, if you look there, there's an 11, 1-1. Okay. And if you look there, if I circle that, there's a 1 and a 1 there. That's another 11. That's an 11 in Hulk Hogan's mother's date of birth. There's an 11 right there on the date she died. And she passed away in 2011, right? So you see all those 11s. Guess who was born on the 11th? Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was born on the 11th. Are you seeing how that's amazing? That's amazing. That she has these signs for 11, his mother, in her date of birth and passing, and Hulk Hogan was born on the 11th. Okay? That's amazing. And not only is it amazing, let me circle that. It's not only just amazing because his mother, Hulk Hogan's mother, had 11s in her dates of passing and date of birth, but also that 11 in biblically, that 11 stands for God's judgment. 11 stands for chaos and disorder. Okay. And so by Hulk Hogan God used Hulk Hogan to expose this evil, the feeling that people have and discrimination against Black Americans. Okay. And he's showing that I'm telling you why, because he's exposing these things before the judgment comes for it, okay? Judgment is already happening, actually, but none of us have seen what's coming. Folks, I'm telling you, there's things that's going to happen in America, to America, that nobody ever thought they would ever see. Watch what I'm telling you. I'm not saying that because I'm happy, because guess what? What I'm saying is I live in America. So in my people, we live in America. It's our home. It's our only home that we've ever known. But this is God's will. Something's coming. You watch what I tell you. There's too many signs. So first of all, that was the first amazing thing that I noticed about Hulk Hogan's mother. The next thing is that Hulk Hogan's mother, just like Hulk Hogan, her son, which is the many call Hulk Hogan was the most famous wrestler in the world. His mother also has 1619 in her date of birth, just like her son. That cannot happen by accident. So you see, God already designed it for Hulk Hogan to be born from his mother, and his father has signs around him. But you see, 1619, this all goes back to the date that slavery began. 1619, 1920. Okay, this is easy. I don't even have to add this up. If you go straight across, oops, didn't mean to do that. But right there, one second, that was the date that slavery began in America. So right there, excuse me, that smudge there, right there, Hulk Hogan's mother. I keep telling you that the judgments that's coming on America is because it is 1619. And there it is in Hulk Hogan's, you see, in his mother's date of birth. That's the date slavery began in America. It keeps emphasizing itself. There's nothing that I'm doing special. And so now, just like before, okay, and I'm sure Sister Mercy saw this, but there's a 20 that's left over, okay? There's a 20 that's left over, just like the first time. In the first Hulk Hogan's date of birth, there was a 53 for the year he was born. Well, there's a 20 left over from the year Hulk Hogan's mother was born. And I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did before, which is going to be to add these numbers up. Just going across, just like before. So you can't make this stuff up. In other words, my point in showing all of this is not to be boring to people or just to show math. My point is showing that God is doing math. He's doing a type of math. Not only is he planning people's dates of birth and their dates of passing, but he's also planning those numbers to equal the numbers of the judgment or the numbers of the Bible prophecy, the years. You can't make this up. Proof, here's more proof. So she was born on 1/16, 1920, and she passed on I'm sorry here. 1/1/2001. Okay, so I'm going to take this, drop this 20 again, I'm going to add 2 plus 0 plus, then I'm going to go over to her date of the date Hulk Hogan's mind passed, which was 1/11. No, I mean 1 in the 1st of January. That's another one. I'm going to add the 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 1. And all together, you get, when you get those, um, 1 second here. Um, 1 second. Here's what I did. Okay, I'm making a mistake here. I added the 20 to all those. Okay, but nothing is okay. So you um here you have 20 and you have 24. 24 and here you have 20. I'm sorry. So there again, not doing anything special. I took the 20 that was left over because after that 1619, which was the year that slavery began, the slavery of the children of God in America, that just take that 20 here, drop it, and then add 1 plus 1, and then plus 20 plus 1 plus 1, and you get 24. There is 2024 again. That's emphasizing again. I keep telling you, the year of the total solar eclipse, the date 2024. And ironically, I just saw this here. If you add all those numbers together, the 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus, you get 8. If I were just to add, instead of taking that 20 and just add 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, 8. Okay, that's part of the. So now we have the 8 for the 4/8/2024. All this is being found in Hulk Hogan's his date of his mother's date of passing. So we have 8/24. Guess what? There's a 48 too. How? Because even if you take 2, all right, because really 20, if you take that 0 and 20 it's take that 0 and for what it's worth here, 2 times 24, if you multiply that 2 times, because 0 has no balance, so let's do that. Even thank you. So even if you multiply, so you do that, multiply 2 times 24, you get 48. So either way you go, you get 48. You get 48. 4/8/24. See it? Either way you look at it. So thank you for coming. Thank you for the likes. So that's what I found. So here again we have the dates for 1619. We have an 11 for judgment, and we find the date of Hulk Hogan's, the day of his birth, matching numbers in his mother's dates of birth and passing. But something else happened. Okay, something happened. Something else happened. but I'll do that later. So what did I do here? I'll show you that. Okay. So Hulk Hogan's father name is Pietro Peter Balea. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. So Hulk Hogan's father is, let me write that down. Peter Balea. I appreciate it. And I found something fantastic. Yeah. And let me show you what it is. Um, I'm sorry here. What did I do here? Okay. So, excuse me there. So he was born on excuse me, sometimes these numbers get jumbled up in my head here. Um Forgive me. And then he passed away. Old Hogan's father passed away. We put that date on 18. Okay. Now, okay, I thought I saw something there. But anyway, so right there, Hulk Hogan's father was born on December the 6th, which is 12/6/1913, and he passed on December the 18th, which is in 2001. So that's 12/18. Okay. Um, so what did I do here first? Um, okay, the first thing I did, what did I do here? I'm sorry. To excuse me for a second. 10, 10. That's 30. What did I do here? I know. Okay, so this time, if you add the 1 plus the 2, sorry, um, plus 18 of the day that Hulk Hogan's father passed, plus the 2 plus 1, okay, you get 24. Guess what? There's yet another 24 I found, in this time in Hulk Hogan's father. So that's a prominent number that we keep seeing playing over and over. And all I'm doing is just going across. I didn't do anything special. I just went straight across. I'm not cheating. I'm just adding these numbers that they're there. And I'm telling you, I can see that there's God put something there. There's a code. These numbers, God is using some type of advanced math that no human can comprehend, because he's planning these people's lives, but yet he's doing it in a way so that their lives still equal these end time signs. These codes that he's putting in points to the Bible prophecy. Now, I'm looking here and I don't know what the 3 is. That 3? What did I do? But I found somehow I found a 50. Oh, let's see, 24. Out. One second here. How did I do that? 20 is 38. 1 second. 42. I can't remember what I did here. That's okay. It's not going to stop anything. So what I'll do, oh, yes, let's see, 1913, 2000, 1 second, 2013 plus 20. I'll have to come back to this. But nothing's lost. Because I want to show you something else that I keep telling people, if anybody saw before, that I keep telling people about. I keep seeing 47. I see it all the time. And President Trump, ironically, is the 47th president. Okay. And now I'm going to show you where this connects to Hulk Hogan. It's weird, right? Because I've been telling people that President Trump, he was born on a blood moon eclipse. And he's had blood moons throughout his presidency, particular times, blood moons when things are happening. All the way up until this last blood moon of March the 2nd, which is an eclipse of the moon, where the moon turns red like blood. And it happened on March the 2nd and 3rd of 2026. And ironically, at that same time, there's the war that people are over there fighting in Iran, and all these fireballs at that same time. Fireballs are coming. A huge increase in meteors or fireballs at that same time that's coming to the earth. What is God trying to tell us? It's a sign. I don't mean a little increase. I mean a big increase of the large fireballs in the sky. So, it's something's happening. Something is happening. So I put the date where Hulk Hogan's father was born. And he was born. Thank you guys so much for coming. I really do appreciate it. I really do. And so I know what I did here. Okay. So I'm going to add the 1 plus 2 plus 6 plus 1 plus 9 plus 3. All I'm doing is adding these numbers. And at first, it may not look like anything, but then afterwards, you'll see what it means. So, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, I really do appreciate you. This here is, if you take Hulk Hogan's date of birth, his father, this is his father now. I've never noticed all these signs of being over somebody's parents and them too. All these signs from God. All I'm doing now is I'm taking these numbers and adding them together. So it's 1 plus 2 plus 6 plus 1 plus 9 plus 3. That equals 23. Okay. Now keep that in mind. And then it's cold. Oh, I wonder, why is it cold? Is the temperature dropped down, or what's going on? Please let me know. I hope that you don't have a temperature or a fever or something. So then I'm going to take Hulk Hogan's his date that his father passed. Are you sick? Please let me know how you're doing, Sister Mercy. Hopefully you can get warm there. So next thing I'm doing, I'm gonna take Hogan. So his father passed away in 12/18/2001. There's a reason that I'm showing it, and you will see here. So if you add one, I think I did this before. 1 plus 2 plus 18 plus 2 plus 1. For the, okay, you get 24. Now put that 24 here so that, oh, you're allergic? What are you allergic to? What is it, Sister Mercy? So now, as I wait for a reply. So thank you, thank you. So right here. Oh, when it's cold or raining, it get, oh yeah, you feel it. You feel it a lot. You're cold natured. That's what you get cold easily. Maybe hopefully you're wrapped up, maybe some warm tea, drink some warm tea if you haven't already. Layer up. So right here, President. So right here, you add those numbers from Hulk Hogan's father's date of birth, you get 23, and then you add from his date of passing, the take these numbers and just simply add them. 1 plus 2 plus 18 plus 2, and those are zeros, so those don't have a value. So 2 plus 1 for 2001, you get 24. Well, guess what? 23 plus 24 equals what? 47. President Trump is the 47th president. Why is that important? Because also remember that Hulk Hogan and President Trump were very good friends. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying they hung out together. He had put Hulk Hogan as in a position in his government, so they were close. They were friends, and so keep that in mind. But there's something else, another sign for 47 that I found, which I keep finding those signs for President Trump. And like even today, every day, like I write it down, but sometimes I just can't. Is sometimes I'll just wake up and it's 6:47, or I'll won't even know what time it is. I'll be doing something, do a couple things, and then do something else, and then by the time I go and sit down, it's 4:47. I have no idea what time it is. I tell you something else that happens frequently, that one of my family members comes around, and he come, and it's happening a lot at like 47. Like, for example, it won't be, he won't come around at any other time, but it'll be, he'll just come by and walk by me, and it'll be 747. And nobody has an idea of that it was that time. He didn't know, and I didn't know. I keep seeing 47 like that. Or he'll use the bathroom and come out, and it'll be 12:47 in the morning. Sometimes the last time I did a live stream, my cat came in at something, I forget the hour, but she came in right at something 47, and she did it again. So you see, I keep seeing 47s, and I know what it means. It's saying that President Trump has he has something to do with this Bible prophecy that's unfolding. Because we see President Trump is different. He's a president of chaos. He keeps things in always controversy, disorder, and things always happening around him. So President Trump also does not care about laws or norms. He does what he wants to do when he can. He likes to do what he wants to do. And that's very different. And that's why God is using, watch what I tell you now. God is using President Trump to bring judgment on America. He is. Yeah. Now, so when I found that 47, okay, so I was reading about Hulk Hogan's life, and I found something again that ties to 47, all pointing to President Trump's date of birth. I mean, his pointing to President Trump. And I'll show you. So when Hulk Hogan first came into the World Wrestling Federation, okay, that's a wrestling business. Hulk Hogan, his first title reign, or the time that Hulk Hogan kept the world championship, his first title reign was, I'll show you, it was 1,474 days. Let me show you why that's important. Because there's a 47 in there again. 1,474 days was Hulk Hogan's first title reign. You see, right here. So if you look at that right there, President Trump is the 40. See, all these things can't be a coincidence. You find these numbers with Hulk Hogan's father through his birth and through his date of passing, and they equal 47. And then here, Hulk Hogan, his first title reign in the WWF was 1,474 days. There you have 47 right there, and there you have 47 backwards. You see it? So really you have two 47s right there. So these signs keep repeating themselves, which means that God is using math. God is a mathematician, because everything, you see that? So Hogan's first get the number for President Trump twice. So what I'm saying is that God, everything, the things he does is math. Even the way that the planet moves, the way the moon moves, the way that the sun moves, everything, all the galaxies, all the stars, the way they move, everything is math. How he plans things to move at the time they're supposed to do. So in other words, God is able to look forward in ways that people can never even imagine. Through times, through years that no people can comprehend. And he can plan something and it happens exactly the way he wants it to at that time. We can't even understand the kind of math that God uses, but yet everything is numbers. Everything is numbers. So, um, I'll show you something. One more. I'm almost done. Okay. Thank you for being here. I want to show you a couple more things, and then this will be done. Okay. Just to prove to you that God is using people, famous people like Hulk Hogan, and ironically, he was the one who was talking so badly about Black Americans. Well, guess what? We're the children of God, and God takes those things very seriously, especially if we have nobody's ever done anything to him. One of our people. So anyway, there's something I want to show you because all this is tied in. So, Hulk Hogan began wrestling. He began his career. Now check this out, cause this is something else right here. This can't be overlooked. Hulk Hogan began wrestling in 1977. Ram. Hello, Sister Chandra. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm not sure what ram means, but you're welcome. Thank you for coming. What does ram mean? What does that mean in English, Sister Chandra? So now, so Hulk Hogan began wrestling in 1977. Okay. And one thing that I noticed not long ago is that when you add, I'll show you 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 7, you get 24. What ram, it means good. Welcome, welcome. Please, if you don't know, sister, if you don't know, yeah, what is funny? That's a good question. What is funny? But anyway, so right there, Hulk Hogan began wrestling in 1977. And but if you take the number and add those together, 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 7, you get 24. There's 24 again. Didn't I tell you? I told you that God is leaving signs. That's the year of the total solar eclipse of the April 8th, 2024. It was very big event in America. And now let me show you something. So right there is but there's something else, because Hulk Hogan, from 1977, his career began in the year 1977, and his Hulk Hogan's career officially ended in 2025. So guess what? That's 48 years. Okay, right? 48. So that's let me double check. So 1977 to 2000, that's 23. 23 plus 25. 23 plus 25. He's 48. That's 48 years. So Hogan He wrestled. Let me put that down. For 48 years. Didn't I tell you that I've been that 48 is a big number? I keep seeing 48. There is 48 again. Right there. Now, in Hulk Hogan's life, something major that Hulk Hogan wrestled for 48 years in the wrestling business. That's very important. So, what do you get when you take 48 that he wrestled 48 years, or he was in the wrestling business 48 years? And then you add the numbers to the year he started. You see? So Hulk Hogan, 48 years. That's 4-8 for April the 8th. 4-8 again. And Hulk Hogan, if you add the years, the numbers that Hulk Hogan of the year that he started wrestling in 1977. 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 7 equals 24. Guess what you get? 4-8, 24 again. You see it? 4-8, 24. That's the year. That's the exact date of the 2024 eclipse that made an X over America. A sign of God's judgment, a sign of chaos, a sign that, and also that X also stands for 400 years, or for 400. And our people have been in America enslaved and afflicted or oppressed for 400 years, like the Bible prophecy said. And you realize then that Black Americans are the children of God from the Bible, and everything fits in and makes sense. So this is why this judgment is coming, because and it was signaled 4-8-24. You can't make all these things up. But it'd be different if that's all. I'm almost done with this, but I want to show you something else, because that's not the only thing. I just saw something here. 1 second. Okay, yeah, I'll leave. That's not anything. So there's the date for the total solar eclipse again. This time from Hulk Hogan, the dates of his life, not necessarily Hulk Hogan's date of life and death, but just the major events, particularly because wrestling is what made Hulk Hogan famous over most of the world, or many all over the world. So now, there's something else I found. Oh, wait a minute. There's something else there. There's something else there. I just noticed that. So right there, I keep telling people, this is going to prove what I'm saying. Sorry, I don't mean to point it like that. I'm sorry. That's a habit I do. I don't mean anything by it. So, 1977, Hulk Hogan began wrestling, right? 77. Ironically, President Trump, and when he became president this second time, he was 77 years old. And last year, the year when Hulk Hogan passed away, Israel had been a nation for 77 years. You see, 77. President Trump was born 700 days before the modern state of Israel was formed. So you see, all these 77s, all these numbers are connected. But this is not the first time that I've showed you this, because you see 77. And so I did a video. I told you that God is showing these signs because something big is going to happen. You watch and see what I tell you now. So God, so I did a video earlier this year. And I think it was this year. Yeah. And there was a woman who lives in California. She had 4 children that were all born on July the 7th. Okay. They were born in different years, but every one of her children was born on July the 7th. She had 4 children. So all her children was born on July, which is the 7th month, the 7th day. So you had 4 77s. Okay. Which I said was a sign from God. And I say that 77, even that Hulk Hogan, where he began wrestling, ties into this because I told people that so Hulk Hogan passed in 2025. So when I found out that not only was Trump the 77th president, I mean, Trump was 77 years old when he was reelected again this time, but also that President Trump, that Israel, the state of Israel last year was 77 years old. So something told me to look, and I went back and looked. Israel had a celebration every year, I think in April, if I'm not mistaken, of its anniversary of it becoming a nation. It would happen every year. And last year, during the 77th anniversary, was the first year that it didn't have it. You know why? Because there were wildfires burning in Israel that had never happened before. There were wildfires so bad that they had to cancel the celebration for the first time last year. And so all of that, well, she says good. Okay. So all of that is part of Bible prophecy. God is trying to tell with those 4 children. So folks, 70, so in the Bible, 7 stands for completion. God created this earth in 6 days. On the 7th day, he rested. He saw that his creation was good. God rested on the 7th day because his creation was perfect. That's why that woman had all those children. It's a sign from God, 7-7, because God is warning us that something prophetic has happened. The April 8, 2024 total solar eclipse happened in the year after it was Israel's 77th year as a nation. But they couldn't celebrate it because the wildfires were so bad. Record wildfires that had never happened in Israel before stopped them from celebrating. Something that God is showing us, that something in time has been completed. We have reached a time where, how can I say this? Where we've reached a new era. Watch and see what I'm telling you. So, almost done. Let me double check here. Thank you so much for coming. And there's something here. Hold on 1 second. There's one more thing. So what did I do here? 1 second here. Is this? Um, 12, 6, 19, 13, 18. Plus, I see something here. But what did I do here? 12, 6, 19, 13, 12, 18, 20. Oh, okay, yeah. So I found something else. That when you add Hulk Hogan's fathers, I mean, you can't make this up. I'll show you. Hulk Hogan's father. Okay. Now, when you add, now I'm not going to, when you add the dates, now listen, when you add the date of Hulk Hogan's father, all the numbers of his date of birth and Hulk Hogan's father's date of passing, I want to show you what happens. So that really ends up being, Hulk Hogan's father was born on the 12/6 of 1913 plus 19 plus 13 plus 12. He passed, Hulk Hogan's father passed in, sorry here, and he passed in 12 18 20 plus 1. Okay, is that how I did it? That's how I did it. So when you add those numbers together, let me double check, but you get, that should get, let me do this on my, I'll double check right here. I think I already did it, but I can't remember if I had double checked. I want to make sure I'm right before I showing you this. That 12, so plus 6 plus 19 plus 13 plus 12 plus 18 plus 20 plus 1 equals 101. Okay, so when you add, I'll show you. But there's something that happens though when you do that in more than one way, and I'll show you. So if you add, so Hulk Hogan's father was born on the 12/6/1913. I added 12 plus 6 plus 19 plus 13, and then he passed. Hulk Hogan's father passed away on 12/18 2001. So I added plus 20 plus 1. You get, when you add those numbers together, you get 101, right? But when you reduce this 101 to its simplest form, what do you see there? You got a 1 and a 1. You put it here, you have 11. If you mark that down, you have 11. Well, guess what? 11 stands for judgment. You have two right there. Stands for 11 in the biblically stands for chaos and judgment. Okay? God's judgment. And there you have it. Just using Hulk Hogan's father's going across, not doing anything special. I didn't change anything. Going across, you have an 11. Well, guess what though? Hulk Hogan was born on the 11th. You see, all these things are pointing, and by him being, it's very unique. So all this is showing God's judgment. Hulk Hogan was born on the 11th. You see, and so from Hulk Hogan's father and his mother, you find a way to get 11 in their dates of birth and their dates of passing. It's like, in other words, it's like when you look at it, what God did was he planned Hulk Hogan's life, and then he planned their lives. God already knew that Hulk Hogan was coming. We didn't know, or they didn't know that God already knew, but God already knew it. You understand? Please, y'all, let me know if you're able to understand what I'm saying here. 1 second here. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay. So now, but what I wanted to show you is, and then this should be, I think this is done. But that through Hulk Hogan's through his mother, as I showed earlier, that I also was able to find. I'm sorry, there's so many of these things laying around. But anyway, um, there's a sign in Hulk Hogan's mother in her date of birth too for 11 and passing, I believe. I can't find it for some reason, but that's okay. I've already shown it for people who may have just come. You're welcome to watch it again. But that's so. But the main point is, so I've been telling you about how important that the April 8th or the 4/8/24 total solar eclipse is in the stream of time. And I've told you about President Trump, the number 47, how significant seeing that all the time is. Because I've been telling people that President Trump is going to do something big. Watch and see. He's already done a lot of big stuff, but he's going to do something that President Trump's going to do. He's going to bring some type of judgment that people probably haven't expected. These things may very well catch people off guard because things are going to happen people never thought they would ever see. And at that point, the whole world, everybody's going to realize that Almighty God, the God of the Bible, of the Old Testament, Almighty Yahweh, they're going to remember, they're going to know Almighty Yahweh is God. And they're going to find out that the people like Black Americans, like people that Hulk Hogan admitted he couldn't stand, but that we're the children of God. And that this Bible prophecy is playing because of us. Watch what I'm saying. There's so many things happening.